Hello, everybody. We're here. 5 for Talking. The off season. Leafs edition. Leafs Nation. Caps is here. Bargo, show him your hat. Bargo's here. Nick, show me what you're sipping on. It's a bubbly. Here we go. Hockey. Off season. Nick has all the information for us. He's going to read us through it. We're going to tell you how we feel. I don't feel anything because I don't have emotions. Thank you.
And on that note, we're going to go back to September 25th. Maple Leafs name Paul Mclean as assistant coach. I think it's important that they get as much help as they can possibly get. I believe that his assignment going into next season will be doing video footage from the bench or from the press box.
Yeah,
and feeding them information. Yeah, I think that's what his assignment's going to be. So I don't know what you guys think about that move.
Without words.
It's good, but my concern is still something we've brought up many times before as well, the head coach.
Yeah, but me and Caps talked about this. I think it's fair because he does have a Jack A. He does have a Stanley C.
I told you I shouldn't sit on things on this floor. It's a bad thing.
Listen to me. He has a Jack A, Stanley C, and that's all that matters. He's going to bring in some good stuff that we need.
All right, the next item, October 2nd, Maple Leafs sign. Is it Mulligan? Is that his name?
Mulligan? Yeah.
To a contract extension. Yeah, that's the next
Mulligan. I'm so happy for the morning when some of those people woke up and they quickly looked at their phones like, "Oh, the Leafs got Mulligan!"
Not even close. But yeah.
700K. Mom.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
700K
hits the kid in the head. He's like, "It's Mulligan."
Yeah, right.
It's Joe Montaigne.
All right, October 5th, Maple Leafs re-signed Spezza to a contract extension. 700K? Is that the same thing as last year? Yeah.
I'll take it.
Why not, eh? He played well last year.
I'm happy with him.
October 9th, Maple Leafs signed forward Wayne Simmonds. $1.5 million. And I called that.
One of the member of the Aragas's birthday. Shout out, Uncle Rob.
Uncle Araga.
Okay.
All right.
Like, what the
what were you talking about? I lost track. I was talking about
Wayne Simmonds.
1.5
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Come on, man. Stick to the topic.
Okay, can we talk about this? Hold on. I mentioned this in a group that we have that's for chatting, and it's for us, the three of us. Cap said there's no way he's going to get paid $3 million, which is what I said he would get paid. I said 2.5 or 3. He said he's going to get 1 or 1.5 million. And I said, if he gets 1.5 million or less for more than one season, I would do an entire episode saying that Nick was right and he was not right. So you suck.
Get that episode ready.
For $3 million?
You were so close. You literally nailed the price. If it was just a 2-year contract, this contract is him buying into himself. He's going to perform big this year, and he's going to get a huge contract next year, and he's going to leave the Leafs.
He took the hometown discount.
Yeah.
He wants to come to Toronto.
He wants to prove himself. Let him do it. I'm happy with it. He brings a lot of something we really need on that team. Something that we lost with Kadri.
Badly.
A little bit more physical than Kadri, but he brings that sandpaper. He brings that dirty play. He gets under your skin. He can score goals with the right players. He can score 30 goals. In the right position, he'll get you 70 points. Even on a third line. You put him in those right positions, he will get you points.
Yeah, they lost that toughness with Clifford as well. So he bringing in Wayne Simmonds kind of.
Wayne Simmonds is another level than Clifford.
Are you talking about Cliffy?
Realistically, if you're going to tell me on
in terms of toughness, just toughness only.
No, yeah, but on
I know Wayne Simmonds can score.
I agree. On raw paper, though,
Clifford
on raw papers, if you're rolling with raw papers, Wayne Simmonds is better than Kadri as a skill player.
I would disagree with that.
I think in his career, Simmonds has shown more skill level than Kadri ever did.
I'm not sure if I can agree with that.
When in Rome.
All right, next one. October 9th, 2020 Maple Leafs sign TJ Brody. You just give it a thumbs down?
Yeah.
Why?
Am I happy that we got somebody on defense? Yes. Did I want TJ Brody out of the available things? No, he was probably my bottom two choices. Does he bring in a defensive ability? Yes. Does he bring in an offensive ability? Yes. Does he bring in any of that tough or grit that you want, specifically you, Cap, specifically want? No, he does not.
Agreed to everything you just said.
Can he play defense?
Yes. You made a 3-day argument with me in the chat group that that's not what matters.
No, that's partly what I wanted to see, that people that come in and play defense. But
That's
the
all
other
he
part
brings,
is,
defensive
hold on,
skills.
okay, hold up. Hold on a second. The fact of the matter is they're still not tough enough. That's a separate argument, but they still need to bring in some defensemen that
Coming to kill you.
know how to play defense.
I know
Can he
where
play
you
defense?
live. Look at me in my eyes.
Come on, man. Let's stick to the friggin' topic.
Stick to the
Bro,
script.
his glasses are too thick.
They're called Bubbles Edition.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, fine. So next signing, Maple Leaf signed Travis Boyd on October 10th. Not really significant.
It is
but-
what it is. I spit on my
I don't
screen.
care. He's gonna be a filler.
All right, October 10th, same day, Maple Leafs acquired Joey Anderson from New Jersey. That's when they had to ship off Andreas Johnson to make room for their cap.
It is what it is.
It needed to happen.
He's a decent age still. He could become better than what he's done, but what he has done is nothing. Like literally nothing. He's barely played at all in the NHL. I don't think he's terrible or anything. He's just filler, in the words of Bargo.
Don't think he's going to
Yep.
crack the lineup anyway.
He might on injuries.
Yeah, he'll be a filler.
But then again, if the golden child Brocco couldn't crack the lineup, I don't know.
All right, the next one,
That was a
Maple Leafs signed Zach Bogosian to 1-year contract.
I'll take it because it's 1 year and it's not awful. He brings experience. A lot of these moves that they made, I like it because they bring experience and leadership to the team. He does bring grit. He brings actual defensive ability. But I think in the grand scheme of that team, I don't know if he's going to fit properly.
Yeah, so like we've been saying they need to get tougher. Everyone's saying they need to get tougher. I think all they really did was address experience. And they've added some key pieces. Bogosian, did I say his name right?
Yeah.
Injury prone. He hasn't played a healthy season. But for 1 year, you know what? Throw him on the roster and see what happens. Or put him on a modified schedule where he plays 2 games, sits 1. Plays 2 games, sits 1. Avoid injury, right?
Yeah, and then you give Sandin a little bit of time in there too.
Yeah, get him some PT. So
I'm okay with that. I like your plan.
Maple Leafs signed Jimmy Vesey, October 11th, 2020. Contract valued at $900K a year.
I'll tell you why it's a no, because I don't see the point of it. I understand that it's a filler player, but unless something of a miracle happens, he's probably not cracking that lineup.
I said this today. You're better off keeping Barco for the same price. Jimmy Vesey's small. He's a small guy. He has 5 seasons. Well, this year will be his 5th season in the NHL. And he's amounted to nothing.
His whole claim to fame is winning the Hobie Baker. And I get it, that's a big thing. But
in 2012, when did he win it?
No, but listen, a lot of American players win the Hobie Baker and then
8 years ago.
And don't do anything. So I agree with you on that. I do think his ability right now as a player is better than Brocco, but you agreeing to what you said, Brocco does have a bigger roof. But is he ever going to get to that roof? Maybe he might not. But Carolina is a system where really quick, very skilled players seem to flourish, and it's potential. There's a chance.
No, I don't disagree. Going to Carolina, I think it's a good thing. But
I want to hear what Caps has to say.
Let Bargo finish. Let Bargo finish.
I don't see the point in that whole. If you sign VC and then you get rid of the same player,
that's fair.
You might as well just kept your boy.
That's fair.
who you've seen in the AHL put up 79 points.
I said it's fair.
I mean, what's done is done, but I look at VC as more or less a Tyler Ennis signing when the Leafs signed Tyler Ennis back a few years ago. It's a make or break. I mean, it's either he does well or he doesn't. Low risk. If he doesn't do well, they get rid of him next year.
I agree on that.
So I don't know. I just
I
look
agree
at it
on all
way.
that, all
Listen.
the endings you just said.
I agree with the ending. Listen to me. Tyler Ennis, even now at his age, on a right line can score 20 goals. Tyler Ennis is fast. Tyler Ennis is a great defensive player. Tyler Ennis brings you experience and will take any role that you give him on a starting lineup. Jimmy Vesey is not that guy. Not yet. I understand. I fully get what Nick is trying to get from that. I agree with that part, but I don't think the comparison to me makes sense.
Well, the Tyler Ennis signing back a few years ago was to try to get his confidence back and to try and get him to play the game again. Maybe they're trying to do the same thing with Jimmy Vesey. You never know. Who knows what's going to happen?
To break out, right?
Yeah.
But Tyler Ennis has had good seasons prior to coming to the Leafs. So you're trying to bring back a game and someone who has game. Jimmy Vesey's not 4 years. He hasn't had one good season, not one.
Yeah. We all make. I guess you guys make good points, but I guess we can see what happens. The last one is the obvious one. The one that happened today is the Maple Leafs signed Joe Thornton to a 1-year contract, $700K.
I can't do double thumbs, or I would. Any team.
I'm a little apprehensive.
Will take Jimbo Joe for $700K. Any team in the NHL.
Can I also just say something? I love how no one even gets the joke there, but his phone keeps auto-correcting it to Jimbo Joe, so he's just been saying Jimbo Joe all day, and it's so amazing that you did that, okay? I agree with what you said before you even said it. I heard where you were going, and I agree. Any team for $700K that got him, imagine him on Pittsburgh. Imagine him on Washington.
That is the Leafs' best signing since I've been a Leaf fan.
You bring in defensive ability, face-off winning, a little bit of grit. You bring in solid overall skill, the best passer of maybe this whole generation, a guy who can see the ice like nobody else. You put him on a line with a guy that's gritty and can score, and another guy that's fast and can score, which is what the Leafs are potentially going to do with Simmonds and like Kerfoot. And I see endless possibilities for a guy that's at the end of his endless possibilities for a guy at the end of his rope. He's all the way at the end of his career, and I still see possibilities that he can create. Imagine him on a power play line with Marner and Nylander.
He's not going to be in the first line. He's not going to be in the first.
But I'm saying, imagine you have a situation. You got to put a guy out there.
Fair enough. But something that you brought up, Joe Thornton is not known for his defensive ability.
But he can play. He's not a not defensive player.
Especially in the playoffs, the man throws the body. He's one of those guys.
He can play defense.
Throws the body, but he doesn't play defense.
Okay,
let's make a comparison here.
Let's make a comparison here. Take the top end of the Leafs team. Tavares, Marner, Austin Matthews, Nylander. Are any of those guys as good defensively as Joe Thornton was in his career?
They're not known for the defense.
Okay, but that's my point. So is he better or worse than what we have defensively right now?
Better.
I don't know. Time will tell, but he's not known for his defense. I'm just telling you that right now.
What you're getting is what you're getting. He plays both ends of the ice. He does play both ends of the ice.
Let me bring up a thing we were talking about before. Cap said, if you had to put out a shutdown line, okay, and his line wasn't very bad either, but I said as soon as I say this, Bargo's going to agree with me. Wayne Simmonds, Joe Thornton, and either Marner or Kerfoot. It's the last minute of the game. It's the last minute of the game. You're up 1 point.
There you go.
What's the role?
Marner. I'm putting Marner. That's what I don't agree with is the Kerfoot Marner.
Okay.
I'm putting Marner.
Explain. This is what my explanation was. As someone who's played hockey my whole life, the role of a center is to take up space in the middle and block the move to the net and potentially block a shot. Who's better to do that than a guy who's 6'5", has reached for days?
Joe Thornton is not going to block a shot.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's not known for that.
You got to do it all.
That's what centers do. Canadian boy.
Campos. you got a bunch of centers on that team that are not known for blocking shots.
Yeah, because they don't play hockey the way his era of hockey played. He knows what he has to do to get done. Look what Jason Spezza did.
But Joe Thornton is not known for blocking shots.
But
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Joe Thornton knows
He's
what it
not.
takes to win.
Name me a player right now in the NHL that is known for strictly blocking shots.
Defenseman.
Name me a player. Just name one. Name one.
I can't.
Who says that this player is good? He's known. The only reason people know his name is because he blocks shots.
I want a big man in the middle. That's why I like Spezza. In my defensive situation, I want a really big guy that's going to take up space and clear people out from the front of the net and have long reach. That's what I want.
The positioning is what matters, and Joe Thornton knows that. Shot blocking ability is an asset to a player's game. It's not something that they're known for. Okay. And it's also being at the right place at the right time. You see Mitch Marner jumping in front of slap shots. He shouldn't even be doing that, but he does it. Is he a shot blocker?
Same thing.
Scares the crap out of me every time he does that too.
Also, I want to point this out.
But like that's what I mean. That's what I'm not saying like you're completely off the books with that one, but I think it is more of an asset to a player's game, not something that they're known for.
I want Nick to say his line too because I do think his line was also good. But before I say that,
when I'm looking at the lineup, and I have to put out a shutdown line in the last minute to shut down the opposition, I'm going to look at Kerfoot, I'm going to look at Hyman, and I'm going to look at Wayne Simmonds. That's, to me, if I have to look up and down that lineup, that roster, that's who I'm going to put out there to shut down the opposition because everybody else, in my opinion, are not known for their defensive abilities.
And I don't hate that line because I really think that Kerfoot has a strong defensive ability and he's fast. This is my problem with that. When you say shut down line, usually this line is coming out to do what? Win a faceoff in your zone. Who do you want taking this faceoff? Joe Thornton or Kerfoot?
Spezza.
Okay, so there you go. So there we just solved it right there. Wayne Simmonds, another winger, Hyman or Kerfoot, and Spezza at center.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that once he takes the face-off, and hopefully he does win the face-off, Spezza gets off and bring out Kerfoot.
No, you get it in, you dump out the puck, and then you change. And I agree with that. I'm fully okay with that.
But going back to our other point, I'm sorry, Joe Thornton, to me, maybe he's a good positional player, maybe, but he's not known for blocking shots. And to me, this team, I don't know if Bogosian's known for blocking shots or anything like that, but other than maybe even Muzzin, but Marner, I don't know anybody else that's willing to block shots on this team.
This is a thing I want to point out too. Blocking shots, I think Muzzin. I gotta say, but maybe Bogosian. That's maybe like he's always injured. On paper, I said this earlier. On paper, when we first got Tavares, I also said this, but like now I really truly believe this. This is the best Leafs team on a piece of paper, solidly offense, defense, grit, face-offs, goaltending, power play that we've had since the 92 Leafs against Wayne Gretzky. This on paper, this is the best team we've had. And if this is not our best shot to make it, I'm not saying they're good enough to do it, but this is the best shot we have.
Let's not count out the 04 Leafs, because they were pretty.
No, I'm not saying, but I don't consider seeing age Gary Roberts and Steve Thomas as being comparison to these players.
Well, I mean that's your opinion, and
I mean I don't.
I mean it's
if you put that Gary Roberts or Steve Thomas with anyone else than Matt Sundin, they're not producing.
Well, I disagree with that. I look at Gary Roberts and Steve Thomas in comparison to Joe Thornton and Spezza.
Yeah, but that's not the guys you're comparing them to. If you're looking at that roster compared to this roster, your Thomas and your Roberts are compared to Marner and Nylander and Tavares and Matt.
Absolutely not.
Those are the best guys on the team.
Absolutely.
That was the caliber of player they were at the time.
They were the best players on the team. They weren't the third line, fourth line center. They were the first line.
But I'm not going to compare. I'm not going to compare Steve Thomas and Gary Roberts to Mitch Marner. When I'm looking at that team, I'm looking at Sundin and Alexander McGillney, and I'm comparing them to Marner and Matthews.
Okay, but then you still have Tavares and Nylander. Are you comparing those two?
Fine. I'm saying I'm just saying that you can't compare those players. I'm whatever. It's fine.
What I'm
It's
saying
fine.
is take the third line center and the third line winger and compare it to Wayne Simmonds and Joe Thornton and tell me if it was that good.
So who was the third line
I don't
center for
even
the
know. I
1990
don't
Leafs
want to
team?
look it up. My point is, anyone who denies that Matt Sundin is the greatest Leaf of all time, you're crazy.
Okay. Anyway, let's get off that. Looking at the cap situation, now that Thornton is
I'm always looking at caps.
Okay. Looking at the cap situation now with the Leafs, it looks as though they're going to have to deal someone.
Who do you, in your opinion?
Because they still have to sign Mikheyev, and I'm not sure what the heck is going on with Dermott.
Okay.
I really don't think Dermott is going to be back. I do think that Mikheyev's going to be back, but once they do sign Mikheyev, which is I probably think around maybe less than $2 million.
Yeah. Contract aside.
Once they sign him, someone's got to go.
Okay, so I want your honest opinion. I don't want to hear from me or Bargo.
Who goes?
Not only who do you think, but what do you do in this situation?
Well, I'm looking at it now. They only have like what? They're over by a few $100,000. Is that correct?
Yeah.
If I have to look at it, I would think that if they have to, maybe Kerfoot may have to go. But in terms of maybe they could squeeze out Engvall and Justin Hall if they had to.
I think
that will make about $3 million of cap space.
I would put
contracts.
Hall in my Hall would be in my situation. And if you could trade the rights for Dermott to a team, I would trade that for a draft pick, along with Dermott with like another random player for a little bit of cap space. Because they do have guys on the Marlies that are taking up 700, 800K that they could move and clear up a little bit of space. But I do feel like you're correct. We do need Mikheyev.
Mikheyev's going to play on that second line.
Yeah, 100%.
Tavares, 100%.
And you were saying you go back Mikheyev, Tavares, Marner, Hyman, Matthews, Nylander, right?
I got a feeling that they're going to link up Nylander with Matthews next year.
I think I'm fine with that. I was just saying that's how you think, right?
That's what I think. I think
I do
Thornton
too,
is going to be. I think Thornton's going to be the third line center, and I think
with Kerfoot and with Simmonds.
Yeah, and I think Spezza is going to be in the fourth.
Be with like Robertson and Engvall or something like that.
Yeah, but Robertson is a tricky one because I honestly thought that Robertson is going to be in the third line, and that would mean that Kerfoot would have to come off.
With his performances in before the Leafs, like forget about the playoffs, what he's shown his ability, he's going to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to play next year. All right.
I don't have anything else, Bargo. You have final thoughts here? Caps, you got anything you want to wrap up with?
I think that's pretty much it, man.
I think that's all we got. That was a lot of information. We had a little bit of fun. We like to joke around here. Let us know your favorite Leaf team in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Caps, anything?
No.
Subscribe.